Okay, I think we are live at last. And I hope we don't have the glitches that the previous poets had. And okay, guys, all you beautiful creatures out there, nice to have you here. And it's such a unique thing, this one, and I'm sure we will all struggle with this until we get it right. Okay, and I think it's such a wonderful way to get across. And I see so many friends joining in, my wife joining in. Hello, wifey. I'm just waiting for Bina to come in, and then we are ready to go. Just one sec. Okay. I still don't see Bina. Until then, let me just tell you about her, because 90% people know her and 10% who don't need to know her. Bina is a poet. She's an editor, she's a designer, she's a publisher, she's an art curator, she's a storyteller. It's crazy. I mean, I can go on and on. And she's taken out three books, two books, and a third one is on the way. And she runs this amazing arts and ideas magazine called International Gallery. And that's something which is so awesome. And one of the great things is her first book, Fuse, which was a huge hit, was translated into Chinese, and that's incredible. And it's also taught in a number of universities in USA. So I mean, and I've not even covered half her accomplishments. So now let's see where Bina is, and we will get her on. One sec. Okay, I don't see Bina. I don't know where she's disappeared. And I don't want this to be a solo show, because Bina is such an interesting person and you would love to hear her. Okay. Mansi, if you're here, why don't you call her to call me in? I think there's some glitch somewhere around here. Yeah. Because I don't see her at all. So in the meantime, let me tell you about how things are going here. Like for all of us, we are incarcerated, but it's fun in its own way. I've learned so many new things. I did not know it was so tough to majo bartan, and I didn't know it's quite time consuming to dust around, and the more curios you have in the house, more difficult it is. Oh my God. Now I know why my wife keeps saying, don't buy so many things to put around, don't buy so many things to decorate the house. I know now exactly. And I'll now encourage her to discourage me to buy new things. So that's a new learning. I've joined, this is the National Poetry Month, so I've joined a whole lot of places where they give these prompts, and these prompts are where you write poems on. So things very unusual. So one of the prompts was, what does your body say to you? Now, that's not something which you generally write a poem on, do you? I mean, right now, of course, if you ask me, the only thing which I know is what does my wife say? And she says, Bartan fir achhe nahi dhoye. But then when you have someone asking you what your body says, it's something so interesting. Okay. While we are waiting for Bina, let me read a poem for you. This is a poem which I wrote for Calcutta, and it's a love poem to Calcutta, and it's something which really is like a love affair, and each one of us who loves the city in which we stay in will identify particularly when a city disappoints you sometimes is not truthful to you, and sometimes just does not reach to the potential which you hoped it to reach. It's called Calcutta, a lover's epitaph. There is no other place for me. Calcutta's streets have been mapped by my heart, and I can stop anywhere and tell you stories of when I was a child and the city a youth, of when I grew up and the city refused to. But in its heart now lie crumbling memories of all who grew tired of waiting for its mornings to burst out into light, even as I sit on the curb and sip tea from earthen teacups grafted from its steam. I am still a lover, though in the shadow of its decaying facades and tired cathedrals, waiting for its glory to emerge from its cemeteries, the way a strand of grass cracks open a gravestone. I have invested too much of myself into the city, into the bloodstream of its roads, into the pores of its eccentricities, too much pain, too much sweat, too much semen, too much poetry, to now say, I abandon you. But I despair for this city, this lover. Doesn't it owe me anything? But it lurches from one wound to another as if life's exposition are lesser if not written in scars. Now I feel abandoned. The city's faithlessness is now not of the senses, it is a disembowelment of my belief. And if in that deceit lies its definition, then it is also the epitaph to my irreparably broken heart. And now we have Bina with us, so here we go. So in a second she should be here, and at last, Bina.
Finally.
Finally, I've been so lonely here.
Sorry? It's been so lonely here.
I've been very lonely here.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we made it. You know, we walked
made it.
the entire road and we're there now.
Super. Why don't you speak closer to the microphone? Maybe your voice will come better. Yeah?
Okay, can you
Wonderful.
hear me? Okay.
Yeah, okay, super. So, Bina, how have you been coping up with the solitude which has been thrust upon us?
Well, for me, solitude has been my life forever. I've lived with it for most of my life. So yeah. I'm very comfortable, very much at ease.
Okay, so this is like an extended solitude which you did not expect to come in the normal life.
Indeed, indeed. How about you?
Oh my God, I wish there were one more month of it because my to-do list hasn't finished.
Okay, okay. And the good thing is that, you know, you, a man of numbers, is also a man of words, and you're getting more time now to write your words.
Yeah, that's true. You know, sometimes I tell my friends that it's because I'm a chartered accountant, then I think I became a poet, because it's so dull. It's so dull.
But you're doing a wonderful job of a wonderful life of poetry.
Thank you so much. But now I want a poem from you.
From me. Okay, so my first poem will be for you. Thanks, of course. No, but first thanking Kitab Khana, thanking Mansi, thanking Arundhati, Ashwani, and the whole team for doing what they have done, which is quite amazing. Yeah. So I will read, you know, why I said the first one is for you, because you mentioned a poem that you like of mine, and I should read that.
Yes. Yes.
It's called Morning Mess. It's like the morning mess, sheets in disarray, pillows on floor, cigarette stubs in coffee cups, milkman at the door. The news, of course, is daily dirt. How many governments do you curse? The cacophony of silent tweets makes the waking even worse. It's like the morning mist, the tangled words in my head. How does one stack them neatly so, in visual splendor to be read? This was in this book of mine, my first
Oh,
book.
this is absolutely amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Tell me, what is poetry to you, Bina? I mean, is it a release or is it an unraveling or is it a pleasure? What is it?
Like you once mentioned, poetry is a compulsion. It's the same with me. I've written all my life since the time I was very, 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 very young. And but I've always been a closet poet, and it's only now in my autumn years that I've started publishing.
And thank God for it. We would have been poorer otherwise.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
But tell me, how do you have proficiency in so many things? Art. You are writing short stories and are going to publish a book on that. You edit, uh, publish, design a magazine. Uh, I mean, you're interested in travel. I mean, there's so many things I could go on and on. So, what is the connect, and how do you manage all of it? And I mean, is there a artistic connect, or is it just your love for these things?
Yeah, I think I'm insane. I'm probably insane.
Sorry, say that again.
I said I'm probably insane.
But then all creative people are.
I don't know how else I can do it. You have to be insane.
Wonderful. Hope the insanity continues. Another poem, Bina.
Okay, I read a very short poem. You know, I love art. So a lot of my poems, my newest book are ecstatic poems relating to art. And there's one that I'd like to read quickly, which is, I don't know if you can see it. This is Subodh Gupta's work, installation.
Oh, wow. Yes, I've seen this in NGMA.
And the poem is called Migration. It's for Subodh Gupta. Yellow, black, and a stack of memories on a rack. How far will they go? How far to know? Life's journey is back to back. That's it.
Oh my God. That's wonderful and so relevant.
And then there is this amazing poet from the 20th century, Stanhope Alexander Forbes. And he's... That's a painting. Actually, he's not a poet. He's an artist who made this painting. And I wrote a poem.
Looks like a Rembrandt painting.
Yeah, because of the light. So
yes.
The paint, it's this man with his violin, and I titled it, Why Would a Violin Sing?
Okay.
I mean, think, why would a violin sing? If soul did not stir its strings, if words in the verse didn't take wing, if the rhythm in its heartbeat didn't sink, think, why would a violin sing?
My God, it's wonderful. How do you, I have to ask you this. I see each one of your poems are so short. Is there a intent that you make it short, or is it just the way you write? I mean, what is the secret of these short poems which are so impactful? Is there a background to that?
Well, I always somehow wrote short poems, and when I lived in Japan for 5 years, and I was there, and everything there was so minimalist, and my life became minimalist, and my writings became short. Even my short stories are really short.
Okay.
So I'll read another poem which responds to this work of Edward Hopper.
Hopper, yeah.
Yeah.
Very relevant for
And
the times, the paintings of Hopper.
indeed. This one is called Morning Sun. Morning sun streams in through my window like soft silk, stirring the sluggish morning mind with its 7 o'clock persuasion. Wake up, it says, before the day unfolds with its prescribed schedules. Wake up and sing an unsung song.
Oh, wow. Love it. Love it. You must have spent
So,
some time in combining the paintings with the poems to get the right imagery for that.
yeah, it happened over the years because I'm always into the visual arts, and I'm always reading and writing, and my magazine that I publish is all about the arts. Like this one is
Yes.
entirely on Japan. This one
Wow.
is book of poetry and art and poetry.
Right.
And so all my life it's been just this. All
Okay.
my, yeah, most of my life.
But so fulfilling that the work which you do is the things which you love doing. I mean, nothing better than that.
Yeah, I think we are very privileged, and we're very blessed, and I have no complaints about anything in life. The only complaints I have are about what's happening now in our country, what's happening in the world, and it's not impacting me as much as it's impacting the people on the road, the daily wage workers, the migrant workers. So that is overwhelming.
I agree.
It's just that.
It
So
truly is.
I want to know if you will read something now.
Okay. Okay, let me tell you something. And it's something unusual and unusual, if you know what I mean. And I'll tell you the reason why I'm mentioning it also is I've started a poetry podcast.
Oh
And
yes. I meant to ask you. I'm sorry. Yes,
no, 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 no.
uncut poetry. That's
Uncut
wonderful.
poetry.
I heard you,
Oh,
and
I'm
your
so glad.
voice is amazing. Please
Thank
read
you.
from that, please.
Yeah, so I thought I'll read a poem from there. But let me tell you about Uncut Poetry. The only reason I'm telling this to you, I'm so excited about it. I'm like a child. I mean, people in my home look at me and say, "Ki, what's wrong with this guy? He's acting like a little kid." I spent so many hours putting it all together, the music and the editing. It's a DIY kind of an effort. I've not gone to studios to do it, so I can very well do it while sitting at home. So I've learned softwares, how to mix music, and I've got these microphones which are so good, so you can really, capture the sound.
Wow.
It's such fun, I mean, leave aside the poetry, but even putting it together has been such fun. So, and it's got almost 500 downloads in just a few weeks, which I believe is not a bad thing at all, So, the
I
last one
have
which
to
I
learn from you.
posted. Please, I'll come to Bombay as and when I do, and we'll sit and chat about podcasts. The last one, which I put in there, and I urge everybody to listen to it. It's got some wonderful music, which is accompanying the poem. So it's called The Importance of Faith in Love. She said to herself, I need to turn over into a new life. I have allowed myself to slip through the fingers of love and have threaded scars assiduously till my being is a quilt threadbare with darning. The days cling to my body like blood-stained clothes, and the evenings slip through my soul's torn pockets. Love has been a poor choice for livelihood. But yet again, I put my worthiness aside and lay the frayed carpet of my dreams out. Somewhere there will be a roughly hewn slinger with a shy smile and a couple of dreams in his pocket, which he will tenderly make my keepsake. We will have no friends but the ferns, as the wind would wrap us around each other and help me keep my faith.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you.
lovely.
Thank you. Yeah. So,
And
uh, in fact, if the podcast goes on, which I intend to in season two, I intend to start collaborating with friends, whoever's willing to come with me. I'm gonna come running to you and spend some time with you for that. That'll be really,
lovely,
really, really wonderful.
lovely, lovely. Thank you. Thank you. So, shall we read? Do we have time for more poems?
Yes, I'm sure. Mansi can probably tell us, but before she comes, quickly read a poem of yours.
Okay. Um, so I read poems that were very gentle and soft, but I shall read one now, which has impacted
Please.
me recently.
Yes.
Uh, these are about the migrant workers.
Okay.
It's titled "They Walked." I wrote it just 2 days ago.
Okay.
Uh, they walked and they walked on the road of despair, blistered feet, parched tongues, bellies empty, skin scorched in the midday sun. They walked and they walked, wearing clouds of grief, threadbare lives and tattered dreams, through bleak and endless roads, half lit by a crescent moon. They walked and they walked through the dust of uncertainty, through humiliation and dignity, through a dark tunnel. There was no light at the end. There was no light at the end.
My God. This is absolutely stunning. Absolutely
I,
stunning. That really came
so
from somewhere deep inside. Yeah.
yeah, it's you feel so helpless when you watch and read, and you can't on the ground do anything other than donate money, but
Yeah.
you're not physically there for them,
Yeah.
and that becomes painful.
Yeah.
Should I read my last poem?
Yes. Please. And keep one in reserve in your pocket, just in case.
Oh, okay, okay. This one is Ode to Utopia. And the sky was washed clean, sparkling like a new minted coin. It was as if it believed in hope, as if the dark clouds were in exile, vanished forever. It was as if the storm had taken a sabbatical and become a monk in the mountains, as if politicians had surrendered to compassion. It was as if they had drunk from the sea of Soma and become slaves of peace, as if their corrupt skins had peeled off their scheming minds and flown away, as if all walls and boundaries had blurred into one language, love, as if the tree of life was luminous, with fruit of colors and creeds, communing in harmony. It was as if Rag Bhairav was in dialogue with Mozart's Nocturne, and a shamisen strummed in the tinkle of the African kalimba. It was as if spring had migrated into our lives for permanent residency. And then I woke up, and then I swept away the mist from my eyes.
My God.
Making those. Thank you. Sunil, it's your turn.
Oh my God. I mean, I don't think anything can match the pathos of this one. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful.
No, I want to hear you.
Okay. So this one I call I Love You. And
I hope you do. I hope you do.
completely. So just keep one image in mind when you're hearing this. A couple desperately in love with each other, old, and the lady is in the hospital, not necessarily going to live anymore. I see your dribble find its way to the pillow again. I see you have browned the sheets again. So much of you is waste now. So much of you is unlovable. I love you. How we've let our veins connect to the other. How I have let your good flow into me till I see you and I see myself. And as you die, I let myself die too. I Maybe the sun hasn't always been kind to you. Maybe I have crushed your flowers too often before they bloomed. I have seen glass breaking and you holding your hands up helplessly to me. I love you. We have stumbled on straight roads. We have fought for winter in the middle of spring. We have carved scars without words. We have feasted on each other's blood and tissue. I love you. I have been mayhem in the midst of calm. I have trusted the world against your word. We have lost our stories as we entangled in each other's tales. So much of us is in pieces. So much of us is a ruin. I love you. And I feel this rush of breeze. Has someone come to take you away? Oh, we loved the other because of a secret you and I knew. The healers of broken wings are the hands which have broken them into two. I love you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Sunil, that was beautiful. Another one?
Oh, another one. Are you serious? I want to. Okay, let me see. Okay, here goes. You sure you don't have one which you can give us?
I do, but after you.
Okay.
Is the top search result.
Okay, fine. Here he goes. So this one is called She of the Gentle Grace. I now know why every day things get worse between us. I come to you with the accumulation of a million yesterdays compressed into one weary feeling, such that every morning I wake up with the memory of aches without details. How tragic it is to be a carrier of forgotten slides and scars whose history is obliterated, but whose traces blight every dawn. I forgive the seasons for changing for the worse, the faucet for not working, the birds for ruining the morning with their din, the sofa springs for giving way, the stranger for flinging a random expletive, the flowers for dying on me unexpectedly. I wake up with my love for them undiminished. But I turn to you in that wonder of half light, your face soft, unshielded to my hard look, and I fail to see you anew as my gaze runs a movie projector of labels. I remove your flung arm from around me, your trusting head from the nook of my shoulder, still not knowing the secret of your bliss behind your hurt. that gentle grace which finds any reason to forgive. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sunil.
And we end with yours now.
Are you sure?
Of course, come along.
Okay. I love trees. So I shall read a poem about a tree. Okay? I shall end
A
with
tree.
that. A tree. I
Okay.
am a tree. A tree lives inside me. Its cloistered roots anchor my nomad mind. Its gnarled trunks hold my spine. Its branches stretch into the hidden sky of my ruminations. Its leaves are green words that sing songs of enchantment when stirred by the breeze of new beginnings that drift through my blue veins. Its precious fruit is plucked and peeled for untold narratives. A tree lives inside me. I am a tree.
Oh, this is so wonderful. This is
That's it.
so wonderful.
And Sunil, we have to thank together all the listeners who have
Yes,
stopped everything they're doing and they're listening to us. Thank you so
yes.
much.
Thank you so much, all of you. And thank you for having us here. I mean, we have to thank Mansi, we have to thank Mrityunjay, we have to thank oh my God, I don't know how many people we have to
So the
thank.
whole team. Yes,
The
we
whole
should
team.
do it one day
Absolutely.
together. We should do it. Yes.
We will do it. Absolutely.
All the
Thank you so
best.
much.
Take care.
And it's
Be
such a pleasure
safe.
talking to you again.
Indeed.
Absolutely. And you
Indeed.
too.
Thank you.
Bye
Take
then.
care.
See you. And
Bye.
thank you everybody for listening in. Bye then.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
आवाज नहीं आ रही है बेटा मुझे I can't hear. So, can poets hear me? Anyone say, I'm Ashwini. Hello, I'm waiting for EVR. EVR is known as your E.V. Ramakrishnan. So the last session today is by E.V. Ramakrishnan. E.V. Ramakrishnan is perhaps one of the most mature and most serious practitioners of the poetry in the country today. So I'm sure that you will enjoy today listening to EVR. And let me speak a little bit about EVR and EVR's work before EVR joins us in this conversation and also poetry reading. So I've received EVR. EVR, can you see me? Yes. Good evening, EVR. Good evening, EVR, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah.
So finally, we are here. EVR. I guess you know I'm an aging professor. You are my senior, and I'm learning at this stage the new technologies of communication.
No, that's I learn from you. You are in the field.
I'm thrown into the sea, EVR. I'm thrown into the sea. So I hope my poet friends are around and they're going to watch us. They're going to listen to our conversation. So most welcome, EVR. You are known as EVR. You know, I'm sure people do remember your real name, E.V. Ramakrishnan. How you became you know EVR? Can you tell me?
See, this is
Because the other day when I was talking to AJ Thomas, so he said that, oh, EVR is like my elder brother. And he's perhaps the most sensational practitioner of poetry.
you see, friends.
So how you became EVR?
Friends keep abbreviating your names. Sometimes they call me EV if they are very close, or EVR. And over a period of time, people. And once, I think, Dilip Menon, who is a historian, I had written.
Yeah.
And then he said, your letter arrived. I had a shock because he is a historian. He thought of E.V. Ramaswamy, who was a... So he said, but I said, I am more contemporary than...
So every time when people, like Google you, they go back to, the older version of E.V. Ramakrishnan, E.V. Ramaswamy, the great Periyar leader. So E.V., how are you coping with this solitude or isolation at home?
I carry my work around. So I've been working on a kind of one book. So that keeps me busy most of the day.